Hi everyone.
Sir.
Hi everyone. Welcome to our latest video in the Head in the Cloud series hosted by Citrus Global. Here with me today is Harrison Stewart. He's CISO at Veolia. Harrison, I'll leave it to you if you'd like to introduce yourself.
Yeah, sure. Thanks. My name is Harrison Stewart, Chief Information Security Officer at the Veolia Company Limited, Veolia Unveil GmbH. And I'm responsible for all the security aspect of both the human aspect and technological aspect. So I'm very happy to be part of this interview. So yeah, I'll leave it back to you, Jack.
Fantastic. So I think this year 2020 it's been it's very interesting year, challenging for a lot of people. How were you during lockdown?
Well, during the lockdown, from organizational perspective, was something that I do think that we were actually prepared for that, because we were planning even for the workers to start doing some kind of home office. So
Okay.
when the epidemic came around, it was like we were ready. We were already set up. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. So you guys were quite prepared by the sounds of it, which is good.
Exactly. We were quite prepared for that. Yeah.
What were I suppose, your biggest frustrations throughout the period from a personal perspective and from a business perspective?
Well, we do think that, or maybe I do think that, well, there wasn't any huge problem because the team worked accordingly. It's like it was more proactive. The
Okay.
IT department, the security department, it's like everybody was really working together, so there wasn't any frustration or anything that I can stand here and say that, oh,
Okay.
there was something, so everything was great, actually. The only
So,
frustration that I think that I could say was that because we were in the phase of giving the people the opportunity to start doing home office.
yeah.
And we were thinking, for example, okay, let's take, for example, phishing emails,
Yeah.
because we were in the phase of keeping the security awareness. And
Okay.
so it was like, okay, how is it going to be right now when everybody goes home? But I think that our pre-educational things that we provided to the workers, I
Yeah.
think there was something that helped a lot. Yeah. So there wasn't any huge frustration that I would sit down and say there was. Yeah.
Okay. Great. Great.
Mhm.
I suppose everyone learnt lessons about themselves, especially people in senior positions as well. And what lessons have you learned? What have been the main lessons that you've learned as a result of all this?
Well, I think that or let's say organizations should always think about the unforeseen circumstances, things that can happen without you being able to do anything about that. Because
Right.
I can see that a lot of companies, organizations failed because of this epidemic. And
Okay.
this is something that I think that every organization should always forecast in advance by
Yeah.
using a strategy that will be there not only today, but a strategy that can fulfill the need when there's a problem. So this is a lesson that I think that we learn in this organization because, as I said in the beginning, we were already thinking in advance, and
Yeah.
that really helped us to, bring us the place that we are right now. Yeah.
Okay, brilliant.
Mm,
So you mentioned you guys were quite prepared for it already, and
yeah,
I suppose you were looking to phase that way initially. But
that's
if you
right.
could go back in time, would you have done anything differently to prepare for it in a better way, or would you have changed anything or altered anything slightly?
Well, I don't think so.
Okay.
Because as I said in the beginning, the CIO, the IT manager, the IT team, network guys,
Yeah.
myself, it's like there's a big commitment in the organization, the management, everybody's commitment, you see this commitment and this understanding of why, for example, everybody should know security and all this kind of thing.
Yeah.
So this kind of commitment is something that I think that if I could go back now, right now, maybe I might think about that later, but right now there's nothing.
Nothing. Okay.
Absolutely.
No problem at all.
Yeah.
Not a problem.
Yeah.
So if you could go back in time, I know you mentioned that you guys were quite prepared for it, but would you have done anything differently to prepare for it, altered it slightly, any little changes, if you could go back in time, of course?
Well, I think that if we could go back, if I could go back, I think that we did everything right because, for example, there was a huge commitment in this organization from the
Mhm.
management board to all the level staffs in this organization. So it's like we I don't think that there's something that we will change because the CIO, the CTO, the IT team, the network team, there's a big commitment in this organization,
Mhm.
and it really enhances the security aspect, making
Okay.
us always be prepared for the uncircumstances. You
As
know,
you mentioned earlier on, you guys were quite prepared for this, for the lockdown. You started working remotely, but if you could go back in time, would you have done anything differently to prepare for it, altered a few things?
Well, I do think that, as I said in the beginning, we did everything correct. There was a great commitment from the management board and all the team. There was this kind of proactivity. So, CIO, CTO, the IT team, network team, myself, and all the management, we are always proactive in the concept of security awareness. So,
Okay.
I think that we were already prepared. So going back, I think that there's nothing called 100%. So
Mhm.
maybe there might be some little things that we could have done better, but I can say right now that we did what we could do and we did better. So there's nothing we will change. Yeah.
Okay, that's great.
Right.
Great to hear.
Mhm.
Thanks for that. As a
Yeah.
result of all that's happened, what do you think's here to stay now? What do you think's here to stay for good?
Oh, in terms of, I think you are referring to the epidemic, right?
Of course, yes.
Yeah, exactly. So, well, the epidemic, actually, from my point of view, I think is there to stay, and we just have to accept it.
Yeah.
And what we have to do actually is that we have to enhance the security, focusing on the human aspect,
Okay.
because right now the human are the people that they are also part of the security defense.
Hmm.
They have always been part of the security defense. It's not only the firewall or any kind of software or anything. Now the human aspect has become very critical because there are no more, most people are doing home office. And
Mm.
isn't like you will go to that person and see that a person has gone away from the computer without locking the computer screen. So right now, you just have to send awareness remotely to the people. So we have to stay where we got to accept how the thing is and focus on how we can enhance the security posture of the human factor. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, interesting point there
Mm,
for sure.
yeah.
I mean, what advice would you give to businesses moving forwards?
Well, I do think that, that's an interesting question because I've been into, I was also once in a startup organization,
Hmm.
and I do see how, I mean, right now in this epidemic, right now, they have to focus on two things. One is the human factor, as I said in the beginning, and also making sure that they still increase the trust between them and their customers. And
Hmm.
when I say trust, then I'm talking about security because security and trust can never be separated. Because if you don't give somebody the aspect of security, the
Yeah.
person cannot trust what you're providing. So the upcoming companies should keep on having this on their mind. There is not only the value, but also the trust that they will gain from the customers.
Okay, understood.
Yeah.
Thanks for that one.
Mm.
What would you ask of a modern talent partner?
Well, I think that coming again. Repeat that question.
So, what would you ask of a modern talent partner? So, for people like myself or agencies, or yeah, talent partner in that respect.
Well, I do think that I think it depends on the kind of talent that I'm looking for.
Hmm.
If I'm looking for, let's say, a software developer, for example,
Yeah.
I'm not going to look for just somebody who knows how to program.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll look for somebody who knows how to program and how to secure the program.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
You understand? Because
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
we have a lot of code keys around there. Everybody can program. By the end of the day, you have to know how to program based on the security aspect and also ensuring that the end product is secured. Because when you secure the product, you secure the system. And also when it comes to, let's say, management level, like trying to get a management for our organization, I would see that a manager that has also not somebody who is proactive, you understand,
Yeah.
like proactive, knowing what has to be done, and also thinking in the form of a strategic manner. So I think that what I'll ask from a talent partner is that somebody who, yeah, a programmer, but you still have the security aspect on your mind. And if you are the IT manager, for example, you have to come with an aspect, because what I used to say is that IT manager, you have to have a 360 degrees of your of all the assets you have in your organization. I don't want to go to an IT manager and the IT manager does not know the number of assets they have. They don't know where the data is being kept. They don't know, for example, the risk level of each asset. They don't know the control set for each asset. I
Mm.
mean, these are a lot of things that when I'm looking for a talent from a talent partner, these are things that I really require. If the person has the knowledge of all these kind of things.
Okay. Someone who can look at the bigger picture almost on a broader
Exactly.
scale. Understood.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah. Much appreciated. From a
Hmm.
technical perspective now, in your opinion, what would you say is the next most important trend in cloud computing?
Well, I will say, let me go back to fintech, financial technology.
Yeah.
Um, I think that in the year 2010, fintech became a boom.
Hmm.
That every startup organization where everybody was going into the fintech world.
Yeah.
Now the fintech increased cloud technology because most of the fintech startups, they were all keeping their data in the cloud. Everybody was
Yeah.
going to the cloud. The
Yeah.
problem here was that they were using deprecated way of developing this kind of fintech. So putting this kind of fintech in life for people to use their services. So people start losing the trust in the cloud.
Mm.
People do not trust keeping data in the cloud. Tell somebody that I'm keeping your data in the cloud, and they'll say, "Oh no, stop it." So why do you going to keep data in the cloud whereby you are not even securing the data that you are going to keep in the cloud? So the trust for cloud decreased because
Right.
of the security aspect. Because remember that, for example, for the cloud, we have, for example, we have the SaaS, we have the PaaS, we have the IaaS, and then also these are the platforms. And then we come back, we talk about the public, we talk about the private, we talk about the hybrid, we talk about the community. And each one of them, either the platform or the service, each one got a security problem.
Mm. Okay.
So at the end of the day, the vulnerability that is found on premise is the same thing that is found on the cloud environment. And even I can say the cloud is more critical due to the fact that you don't even know the person who is going to your data.
Ah.
On premise, you know the workers. You
Yeah.
understand? On cloud,
Yeah.
you don't know anybody there.
That's true.
You understand?
Yeah. I
So,
do.
and also one thing also is that, for example, let's take AWS, for example. Everybody says, okay, I'm going to the AWS and I don't have to encrypt my data because AWS has security aspect. But AWS says that I'm just giving you the platform. You are securing your own data.
Mm.
I see that as a big misperception of what cloud technology is. And many people are misunderstanding that cloud technology is not a meaning of securing your premise or your data. You have a place. You have to save your data yourself. But this cloud technology is going to go down because even companies that went into cloud are coming back. I can give you an example that even banks in Germany here, they never 90% didn't go to the cloud. You understand? They still stick to their premise. You
Ah, okay.
understand? Because they do not trust the cloud environment.
See.
You
Right.
understand? And also there are a lot of legacy systems that the banks are using, they cannot be hosted in the cloud yet. You understand? So
yeah,
cloud technology is there, is a boom, but the future is uncertain for that. So I do think that people will start coming back on-premise when they see that there's no value coming from the cloud technology. Well, it is the price. The price is moderate.
yeah,
You understand?
of
But what's
course.
gonna happen when you are not feeling secure?
What
Let's
what do
take for example. Wait. Let's take for example LastPass. For example,
yeah,
everybody. You see, big organization says, let's keep our password there on LastPass. I will never do that. Even if I do that, I'll make sure that the administrator password are not kept in LastPass.
right, okay. What do you think the time frame on that will be then, when businesses, organizations, enterprises start moving away from it, back on-prem?
Coming again, coming again.
What do you think the time frame will be on that then, when organizations,
Oh,
banks, businesses will start moving back on-prem or maybe away from the cloud? Do you think that'll happen soon or?
it will be gradual process
Mm,
because when we talk about, let's say when we talk about a financial technology, it became a boom
mm,
and everybody was going into, but now it's going down and now another thing is replacing it called open banking. You
okay.
understand? So there's another one coming, open banking. So open banking is coming, open banking will go away, and another one will come. So the same way that because nothing gonna stay forever. So cloud is going to go, and another technology will be coming.
Yeah. Do you know what that is? Do you have an inkling? And it,
Well, that is something that I think that I'll leave it for the AI guys. Maybe later we'll be keeping the data in some kind of artificial intelligence
intelligence, yeah.
tools.
Hot
Yeah,
topic at the minute. AI, big data. It's very machine learning is very much. No, that's all the questions I've got today. Thanks so
yeah.
much for being a guest on the Head in the Cloud series. Hopefully, we'll have you again in
Mhm.
future for sure. You've been an
Yep.
absolute pleasure and very insightful as well. But yeah, thanks again for your time. If there's
Okay.
anything else that you'd like to add,
Well, thanks, Jack. I think that it was great for me to be part of this, and I really appreciate it. And I wish you also all the best.
thank you very much. Well, enjoy the
Thanks a
rest of
lot.
your day. Take care.